I got, I got, I got, I got, I got money, 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 money. Money on my fees, cause I'm getting all these honeys. I got money, 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 money. Money is the virus, cause these niggas acting buggy. I got money, 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 money. Money on my.
Welcome everybody to the Genuine Content Podcast with your hosts Jay and Josh. Jay, we're getting close to the end of 2023, man. Like a lot of things moving. What's good with you?
End of 2023. We're nearing the end of season 2. It was just a crazy season, but everything's good. Everything's, I think like I was telling you earlier, right? Everything is kind of like coming in waves for me, where it's like I got a lot going on, and then boom, I kind of relax a bit. Like I think earlier, well, now we're in November, but like in October, I went to Gainesville, right? When I went to go see you, did homecoming, and then had a week break, and then went to Disney for Food and Wine, and then had like a week and a half break.
Don't remind me, bro.
Shit was
I was supposed to pull up, man. Dang, that's tough.
Then I had a little break there, and then it's Halloween. Then it was my daughter's first Halloween, so we had to kind of make it a little bit of a big deal. So now it's like I have a little break now, but then anniversaries this week, and then I'm going on a cruise next week, and Thanksgiving the week after. It's like I got a lot going in spurts, but I mean, besides that, everything's cool with me. Everything's getting better, life, work. So what about you?
Big time, man. Hey, well, congratulations on the anniversary coming through. You know, I'm still a little salty about that Epcot move. I was supposed to be out there, but
the fade was real.
We'll save that story for another one, man. Yeah, we gotta run that back.
No, we'll go next year for sure. I'm a yearly food and wine connoisseur.
All right. We'll table that to the next joint then. Man, it's been a good vibe. Like, you know, it's crazy because like my wife and I have started kind of this movement about like quitting in a good way. Like, if you ain't quitting, you ain't winning. And like we really ran that as the motto. And like my wife did it first. She started her own business afterwards. I quit afterwards, my job in research, and then I just went to full-time like consulting, and like it's been waves different. Like there's a lot of fulfillment in this space, and like for me, like it's been good. I've been moving a lot. Like I've been in San Francisco 1 week, Kansas City the next. It's been good energy, just learning from good people who are like really care about the nonprofit world, bringing resources to those who don't have it in their communities, just doing good stuff. I'm just happy to support it. I got my honeymoon coming up in a few weeks towards Thanksgiving, like right the day before we fly out to Dubai.
Big vibes.
Yeah, huge vibes. We're excited about that trip, and I'd be remiss because like we've seen some news about like, you know, some of the Middle Eastern vibes, and like we've been like, first of all, like just want to, you know, put my thoughts out there for like both sides of the citizenship, right?
Yeah.
Like not the politics. I ain't with that nonsense. Like they're really getting to me on that because like it's so much misinformation, but like
there's no winners in this, you know, because both sides are losing.
Exactly. And so like to the citizens on both sides, like, you know, I have no idea what y'all are going through. I know like genocide is not something that I'm with, and I see it, and I'm like on both sides, like people have been taking a lot of loss. So, you know, that's a really tough one to deal with on this side of the spectrum and on this side of the nation, but this side of the world. And it's tough to know, like, you don't really know what's really going on because there's so much shrouded in mystery. There's so much shrouded in like framing and like just making sure that like, oh, it works best for this side or this works best for our country. And then people get their takes off based on that. And I'm just not with it. It's some difficult stuff, but
that I hear on the travel thing because I'm like I think one of my like biggest things like my bucket listing is going to Egypt. Like honestly, like I was pushing Egypt for my honeymoon. I was pushing Egypt. Like to me, like is Japan and Egypt are like the top 2 places I just want to go. Like if I'll go to those 2 places, I'm set, right?
Yeah.
And I remember pushing it, and it was like we kind of like there was a deal for our honeymoon. Like you just couldn't beat the deal. Like with the traveling to Europe and the cruise and the Mediterranean cruise and going to London and like all that. Like it was financially like responsible to take that one instead of going to Egypt and such. So I was like, okay, whatever, we can move it. And I remember we was considering it this year, and I forgot what happened earlier this year, but something happened in Egypt. It was like, maybe we should consider it, like maybe push it back again. And then this is happening, quick. And then this happened, and I was like, man, like when can we go to Egypt? Like, I really want to go to Egypt. Like, I gotta see the pyramids. Like, that's like there's just certain things I gotta see in life, and that's one.
Yeah. The unrest is just gonna make you hesitant, man. I mean, I hope you're able to, I really hope you're able to make that go for sure. Because I mean, that would be an amazing experience. I would love to make that trip too. But yeah, at the end of the, like, I'm still going to Africa at some point. I'm going to Ghana right after Dubai. Trip. It's gonna be great. Got family out there. Got a nice little setup going, and we'll spend about 2 weeks or so out there, kind of vibing out. Do a little combo of meeting family, seeing family again. I haven't connected with in ages.
It's always good.
Meet them and stuff. And now, man, like, Accra, Ghana is popping. Like, I don't know if you've seen some of the clips on like social media. Like,
I haven't.
Bro, I feel like when I go there, like, we might not want to come back. Like, it's lit out there when it comes to like business sectors, like, opportunities, and like just the energy out there. Like, it's really nice now.
It's funny. So like, I don't think you ever saw Snowfall, but like, that was the big drug show on FX. Yeah. And like, it's not a spoiler or anything, but so I'm not gonna say character's name, but there was a character who was like, all gangbanging and stuff, and then later became pro-black, like, like supporting Black lives and Black businesses on and stuff. So when he eventually goes to, I forgot what part of Africa he went to, he was like, yo, I ain't coming back. Like, the vibe is like, of course, this is, LA in the 80s with the crack epidemic. So he's like, man, like, why would I want to even go back where like we're killing each other, right? Like, we're the one poisoning each other just for money, but when we're here, like, we're more uplifting and all that. And like, his character arc, like, he just stayed. Like, he stayed there. He's like, I'd rather be with my people where I'm not hated and we're not killing each other.
I mean, it really brings a lot of perspective. And like, I went there when I was like 11, right? And I didn't really take it. Like, I had my Game Boy Advance back then, and like, I just wanted to be like just do this. I didn't want to see nothing. I didn't want to do nothing, man. And then like at some point in that trip, like, it opened my eyes to like what the world really could be. And now I'm excited to go back as an adult and to really see it again. The different set of lenses.
It's funny. So like, I think I had that experience a little bit when I actually went to Costa Rica a few years ago. And I'm not Costa Rican, but like, that was the trip that, again, like, so Costa Rica and Nicaragua were right by each other. Like, they're kind of like, they're like neighboring countries. Like, they're like, it's like my aunt lives there and such. So it's like a thing. Like, oh, if you're Nicaraguan, you're in Costa Rica, and vice versa. But like, going there, not seeing my people, but seeing like how like different it was compared to here. And I'm like, it wasn't like it was paradise or anything like that. It was just like the vibe was different. And like to this day, like, I tell everybody, like, yo, Costa Rica was like my favorite trip ever because it opened my eyes. And like, I always encourage everyone, you gotta go to Costa Rica. Like, that's just like, their whole thing is pura vida, live life. And like, I want to get that tattoo on me just because that's how much like I was like maybe 29, 30. And I was like, yo, I now see life differently because of just going there. And of course, like, again, we're not gonna be political or anything, but like, their politics is just like how things run. I'm like, man, I wish it was like that here. Like,
okay, hey,
I mean, you'll see it next year.
Yeah, I was about to say we'll see y'all out there, man. Like, it's gonna be a hot vibe out there. We about to live it up a little bit.
But before we go into like the topic and such, I kind of want to get your vibe on like music because music is popping lately. A lot of good stuff been happening. So I just kind of want to get your quick reviews on like what you've been listening to, and of course I'll start with the Drake album because that's like the big album that dropped in the past month. So like we can talk about a few albums. That's just. I want to get your perspective on it. We haven't really talked about it.
One of the most disappointing launches that I've had kind of as like a day drop, instant listener. Like, not saying that like hype was massive, but like I just found it really disappointing.
No, the hype was
overall. Massive. Yeah, because all the dogs and the delays and everything. Like, I'm like,
but it wasn't. But it was. Remember, he even kept saying like he teased, oh, They say they miss the old Drake, girl, don't tempt me. I'm like, oh, we going like, I know that line from Take Care, right? Like we going back. And then I remember I heard the first song, Virginia Beach, and I was like, oh yes, this is the vibe we're going for. And it went downhill.
They're instantly down. Down. But
like,
I will say this. I think this might be the time where like Drake is now officially on some weird thing, and like, stay with me here. He might be too young for us because he's trying to stay with it.
No, but I think, didn't I say that during the concert? Like his audience, like we outgrew the audience.
Yeah,
he knows his audience now.
I think so, because like, so I went to my wife and I, like, we went to like a little lounge like in Gainesville, right? And you know the song was Sexy Red.
Hey, that's my shit, man. That's my song, man.
You know, no, so I'm not gonna say, like, I'm not hating on the song, but I'm like, man, when they pulled that thing, when the DJ pulled that track, bruh, it went up. Like, this whole thing was off, and I was like, yeah, I see what he's doing. I can't hate on it, but I know just might not listen to all of it forever.
No, for me, I know what that song you're talking about. That's Rich Baby Daddy, right?
Yeah.
Hear me out on this one. That's the reason I mess with that song heavy. Tell me you don't got that Miami vibe. Like,
it has, yeah.
That's why,
bro, like every time I'm like,
that's what I'm saying. So I'm just like, lyrically, there's nothing good about the song. SZA has the best verse. But like overall, I'm not listening. Like the beat's hard. Like the beat's hard. Like, Sexy Red, like, as annoying as it is, that chorus, it's a vibe. Works. Like exactly.
It works.
And then like I'm listening to it and I'm like, man, I can, if this came out like senior year in high school, like we're just joking and bopping. Like this is like, that's the song that brought me back. I'm like, man, not a good song, but like,
I was like, you disrespectful.
But as a vibe, it's a vibe.
It's straight like, DJ energy. Yeah, I was like, man, this is straight for the outings. Like,
yeah, but
the rest of it's just kind of mid. Like
6 out of 10,
man. Like
6 out of 10, man. Right? Like
I gave it 5.5. I gave it 5.5. So I'm right there.
Like
I thought he would have grown up a little bit. Like
he's
not enough kid vibes. Like, I mean, his kid raps was like, all right.
He needs a break. You know, whatever he has medically, this is probably like, you know, a blessing in disguise. He needs that break. He needs to, like, to me, the eye opener should have been like when J. Cole washed you on your own song. And J. Cole, like,
yeah, that was tough.
And it's funny, J. Cole, I feel like dissed them, but not like probably an unintentional diss.
It was effortless.
No, because he said something about like, I forgot what it was, but like, people asked me to get on their tracks and then like I murder you on your own tracks. Like, so he said something like that. But then he was being like, you know, nice. He's like, yeah, but like the Spider-Man meme is me pointing out Aubrey. The big three is me, Aubrey, and Kendrick. So it's like he's still respecting Drake. But I'm like, I mean, Drake broke the #1 rule: don't get washed on your own album song. Like that to me is the cardinal sin. You don't do, like, if his verse was that hard, I would have went double that.
Yeah, you got to re-up on a verse, man. Like, but yeah, I think he needs more inspiration, man. I don't know what it's gonna be like, but that's just one.
Yeah, but now the next album we want to talk about, that Brett. Whoo! That Brett right there was straight.
Oh man, I'm still jamming to that joint.
That was a perfect palate cleanser. Like, it's like, okay, we had Drake, and I was like, kind of not forcing myself to listen, but for 2 weeks, I was like, I'm gonna give this a good listen. Like, I'm gonna give it a good critique.
Yeah.
And now, like, I would like skip songs. Like, if I'll put the album, skip. I like this one, skip. But then the Brett Fires, and I'm like, oh yeah. To me, that intro was just so magnificent. Like, that was
it just started everything off right, man. But I'm not gonna, like, I'll put Best Time on repeat though.
Best. Like, I think the intro and Best Time is like top tier.
Yeah, it's nasty. And then he's got like the ASAP Crew on one of the tracks. Like, they snap on 2 tracks. Yeah.
On 2 tracks.
Yeah. You're right. That's true on this side too. I was thinking Outside All Night, and I was like, yeah, but
might be my favorite album of the year. You know, I still got Don Tolly still in rotation, so like it's
on there. I was jamming to it just a little bit ago. So, I'm not gonna front, but
And then one more album before. I don't know if you gave it a full listen, but how do you feel about that Magic Jordan?
I haven't listened to the full album. I've listened to some of I listened to like the EP, like the early release tracks. And
So
those were a vibe. Those were a nighttime drive vibe.
this is where you're gonna get. That's exactly. So this is. I think the last two albums, it was like they kind of went a little bit poppy, right?
Yeah.
This one ain't it, man. Like it's like I think it's an 80s 90s chill vibe. Like if you want that nighttime drive, this album is perfect, man. They're like they're back to the roots.
Yeah, I turned it on real quick on a drive. Me and my wife were just driving to get some lunch, and she was like, "Oh, who's this?" I was like, "Oh, you've heard them before? Like since when?" I was like, "They back."
Yeah, yeah, man. I mean, I get them, right? Like like I mean, we talking about Drake, right? Like you know your audience, and then like for at one point, Magic kind of went the Weeknd route, where the Weeknd just kind of left R&B, right? He's just straight pop, and Magic was kind of going that route, and I think they realized now we got to go back.
Yeah,
So
there's only a certain people who can make that happen, man. That's just how it is. It is what it is.
Well, I mean, that was a quick segment, quick movie music review segment from us. Might be
Appreciate
the last
you doing that.
we'll see whether music come out, but we should already just get to the topic, I guess.
Yeah. But for all the audio listeners, like make sure you follow us on like all social media, Instagram at genuine_content spelled with a K. Leave a like on our stuff, like subscribe, review our podcasts on Apple Music, Spotify, Google Play, you name it, we're on it. We're also on YouTube for this video platform. If you're watching, you already know it. Like it, subscribe. Man, we just come in with more content. I'm really proud of us, Jay, because like life happens, but we still keep coming back.
We stuck it through, and yeah. I mean, people don't know, like, and it worked out for. We would do a couple recordings. Life happened, and it's like, but we already had the Eps, right? We're really good.
We just bring it back sometimes.
We planned it out perfectly this time. And,
telling you.
And it's funny because this, I mean, as we are kind of wrapping up this season, this is the relationship season. Like,
oh yeah.
And it didn't plan out that way, but boy, like when the internet gives you content, you gotta run with it. And they gave us some heaters this season.
I'm saying, and what was really funny is that like 2024 for me is like loaded with weddings. Like all my travel, weddings, and I know like you were part of a few of them, but like everything is weddings. Like
I'm a bachelor party, like, something with wedding.
Exactly, something related to it, like in some way, shape, or form. Like it's just all about weddings, and I'm like, why did everybody pick this year to like run this, man? Like I'm trying to get back into the budget.
Yeah, I know. That's why
y'all making me squeeze a little bit, but it's cool.
Whatever I can, whatever little coins I got, like I'm already thinking about next year. I'm like, that's already going to the travel funds.
I might need the shark loan from Junior. You know what I'm talking about.
I'm about to look for a part-time because
he might be Amscott for me.
my funds ain't right compared to that.
Man, I'm like, bro, every drop you on it? Like, what's going on here? Talk to me.
I know. I see a drop. I'm like, I want it, right? Like I was like 2 weeks. I'm like, okay, I want that. The day of the drop.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm on a hella want versus need vibes. I'm like, man, I'm weighing it.
I can't treat myself all the time.
It's cool. Like,
I kind of treated myself a bit though, because like I like games too. So some games came out, so I treated myself to that at least. But that's having a good time with a little Spider-Man, little Mario.
Yeah, I'm like, man, if I'm a splurge, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna do it in Dubai. I'm not gonna do it with Nike.
Oh, of course.
But yeah, I'm like, y'all, you're constricting me a little bit. But hey, so, I mean, without further ado, like,
lead us to this topic.
Oh man, so this has been a point of controversy in our group, and so I'm sure, like in the social media streets, it's been pandemonium. I've seen a couple like reactions that I'm thinking like, yo, people are really taking this thing serious. But Jay, I mean, we were, we had a date before we got married, and we have really had our significant others and everything, and like we really formed our relationships. but like this whole list thing, like,
Boy,
is just wild.
man, and I forgot what episode it was, but it's like we talked about like I think it was part of season 1. We talked about how different like the new generation is, right? Like Gen Z and all this, and it's like, and I want to say it's part maybe the tail end of millennials going to Gen Z, and it's like, man, like dating is getting wild right now. It's just it's a lot of keeping up with the Joneses. It's kind of like first reaction is what I'm thinking, right? Like you're living your life based on social media or like based on celebrities, and it's like
Exactly.
and it's affecting us regular people. So
Yeah,
this list it
that's
came
what I
out.
was thinking immediately. I'm like, this is so social media driven. Like, you want a selfie place, or like you can't just have like, or you want to like take a photo of the food, and, like flash it to like peoples and whatnot, like show how good you live in. But
It's
like,
funny, yeah. So
really?
people do that, and I'm like the opposite. Like if I go to Zaxby's, I'm taking a picture and send it to y'all like, yo, because you know none of us like a lot of us don't have Zaxby's there. It's like, yo, I'm at Zax. We're like, but I
Yeah,
send it, but I send it to like the group. I don't send it to like I'm very rarely on social media. But it's like, I mean, you know, I send it to y'all because that's just a point of conversation. It's like, hey man, like Zach's got a new meal. Like, you know, you can have Zach's whenever you have it. Like, some of us in South Florida don't got that.
yeah, I know, man. I remember that. I remember that because I was in Miami for a little bit. That was a tough thing, but at least the Chick-fil-A was close by.
So, but yeah, this list. So, I mean, I guess what I want to talk about is like before we dive into the list, like I guess let's kind of talk about our first date experience because for people don't know, the whole thing with the list is like the don'ts on like where you take your first date. So I guess before we even get into that, like I guess I kind of want to go into like what's our first date experience, or like, you know, we can talk about our wives, you know, our first date with them, or just even talk about prior to that. So
I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind taking it way, way back when to like, the little Pee Wee days and
we can
whatnot.
do that.
Cool.
I do want to say my. I mean, I'll let you go first, but I definitely want to talk about my first date with my wife because that's a funny one. Like,
Yeah. I want to add that to the group for sure, for sure. All right, so so I had like hopeless romantic vibes when I was like a high schooler. So like, I asked uh I asked this girl out to the movies. We hit the movies, and I went to the store like the day before, picked up some roses, like
oh man, you
chocolate.
went, you did like the movie type first
I
date.
did, yo. I super did that, man.
Damn. I don't know
Yeah,
anyone who did that. No, I know one guy who did it.
yeah.
Pointless.
I went real chivalrous with mine. Yeah, first date like I ever asked a girl out on a date. Like, it was movies. I forget the movie at this point. Like, that was forever ago. But like red roses, little thing of chocolate, all that. Yep. That was the whole night. And like, she ain't drive at the time. So her mom's picked her up.
Yo, hey, that was a struggle back then, man.
Yeah, her mom's dropped her off, and like, but low key, like, she saw the flowers and the chocolate and everything, and like that was like hella brownie points, like
Yeah.
at the time and whatnot. But her mom's picked her up after the movie. Like, it wasn't like a late night thing. It was just like middle of the day, like kind of matinee. So it was kind of chill on that. But yeah, that was kind of the first like experience I ever did. Like, I went guns blazing chivalry. Like,
Yeah, you better than me. I know for me,
hey,
like when I think of first dates, I think of high school. Like that's when you really like. I think that's when I really started dating like that. And it
yeah.
was like, I mean, like movies like that was the go to. Like whether it was like, um, if it's early release, like hey, you know, it's early release. You know, you're already getting out early. Talk to a girl like, hey, you know, are you doing anything? You know, we getting out at 11 o'clock. You want to go to Aventura? You know, take the bus over there. You know, like. Yeah,
Oh man, you had that South Side love.
hey. I didn't have my first car until I was like 21. So
I feel you, bro. I feel
so
you.
the cars that we had, that's my parents, you know, they had to go to work. So shoot, I had to take the bus, man. I had the bus pass.
Boom.
So
That's all right.
so you either go to Aventura, go to the movies. Got a Johnny Rockets there, got a cheesecake, got the food court. Like that was like the main three places to eat at the time. I remember one of my go-tos in the food court was Tony Roma's when that was a thing. And I thought Tony Roma's was
Roma's?
Yeah. I thought Tony Roma's was legit. Like it's like, yo, like I love ribs. I'm like, yo, I'll get some ribs and fries. Like, it's on me, right? Like my treat. You want to flaunt a little bit, you go to Tony Roma's. But like that was the thing. Like you just go to like dinner and a movie, and then and I feel like it's so cliche, but that's kind of a go-to, right? Like even as like I got older, like in college when I went on a date with my wife, not our first date, but we went on a date. It was, we went to Fridays one day, and it's like, okay, the movie's right there. Why don't we watch a scary movie, right? The old cliche moves.
Oh man. You played up out of books on that one.
Whatever works. It works for a reason.
Okay. I'm done, man. That's hilarious. But
Our first date was actually hilarious. So
talk to me.
Oh man, so like it's gonna kill, like the people who make the list gonna kill me once they hear this. But like our first date, well, we walked around campus. Like
oh man, like it could be so simple.
It was a simple thing where like it's funny, we actually met at a Halloween party. Like not like it was like on downtown Gainesville, and she's like as you know, like I'm the introvert, right? I'm really into myself, and she approached me, and
man, you just gotta like that, bro. That's all it is.
Yeah. I had a job walking class, so she just came to me like, "Oh, you dance, whatever." I'm like, "Yeah, I do, a little something, whatever." And I was just dancing, whatever, and it was a quick vibe. And then I remember she just left. Like we just danced and talking, and she just left. And I was like, "Damn, like kind of messed on that one." But I was like, you know what? She come back, I'm getting the number for sure.
Boom.
It's just like as the night ended, I'm like, she came back. Then we just was texting for a bit. I think maybe like a week later, I guess. We met up on campus. She was actually with her dog. She went back home to South Florida, and she brought back her dog, and we just walked around campus. I mean, I don't know. It was a good minute too. Like, gotta be like an hour or two. Yeah. But it was clutch. I mean, when you think about it, this was around November. I already ran through my financial aid funds. I'm broke. I had the funds to be taking her out on dates like that. But I mean, for me, that was the perfect opportunity to get to know her.
I feel you.
And the list and the people on the list gonna kill me for that, but I thought it was obviously it was a successful date.
Yeah, man. I mean, the proof is in the pudding, right? Like, I mean, at the end of the day, like it's interesting to know like who really like came up with this. Like, are they like 18? Are they like 28? Are they 35? Because like I feel like the list could really change up depending on like which side of the spectrum you're really from on that. But at the end of the day, like you really just got to know you and like got to know the person that you're really like interested in. I will say.
Oh no, I was gonna say, and like when I think about a first date, right? Isn't it the whole point of first date is like I gotta get to know you, right? Like that's the whole point.
Yeah.
It's basically I just hope the first date is the most important date because I need to talk to you to see if we're compatible enough to even hit that second date. Is it we go on a second date, or is it's done, or is it just a smash and wham bam thank you ma'am type of thing? Like that's what it was.
Might be a thing too.
That's kind of what it was.
Yeah, you really got to know what the chemistry / vibes is like, and then you kind of both make you move from there. Yeah.
What was your first date with Maisha like?
Man, look, so we kind of had two.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, that is a thing. I forgot.
Yeah, so we kind of had two. Like, so the first one was the movie. But it's crazy because it was probably the worst movie to actually take a girl out to, low key.
What was it?
It was Think Like a Man.
Come on, bro. I still have I was still side eye Steve Harvey for that because like, look, between all of us, like yo, Steve Harvey told the truth. Like that was
It was
legit.
every trick in the book. So like now I gotta be 1,000% real. Like
Yeah.
they don't slip it on my book. But then
Yeah.
you know, a little later after that, because it was close to Archer, we saw the bats like
The
afterwards.
what? Oh, I never saw the bats there.
Oh, bruh, man,
I know there's a lot of things on campus I didn't
that's
do
like
as
new age
undergrad.
thriller, bruh. Like that's the move.
I heard it's creepy.
Yeah, but it's kind of nice though. Like if you go at like the right time, like right before dark, like you see them all flowing, and like it's cool. It's cool energy, man. Like so we did that, and that was like the first date we ever had like in college. Then like, you know, we kind of just did our thing. Like we stayed really good friends. I didn't want to date, but I liked her a lot, and I knew it, and I was like, yeah, this just might not work out right now.
I mean, hey, like what Big Sean said, man. What's the perfect girl if it's not the perfect time? Like that's some real shit right there.
Yeah, like my intuition really kicked in at that point. And was like, yeah, don't do it. Reconsider.
Yeah, it was the right move.
Yeah,
it was the right move.
Absolutely. But we stayed close the whole time. We actually we made a thing of going to like Miapa every so often, and so like that was actually a big part of our wedding too. Was like we had our favorite flavors at Miapa. Like I had the chocolate. She had like the dulce de leche. And so like that's kind of how we kept in touch. But then like our first like courtship date was actually was the beach. And then
nice chill.
Yeah, chill, like just catch up. But we already kind of knew each other. And then after that, Bahama Breeze.
You can't, I mean, you know, the food's decent. You got really good drinks.
Yeah.
You know, at this point you're both over age.
Yeah, but I'm still a master's student, so I got stuff I gotta pay for. You feel me? And like
it's affordable. It's very affordable.
Yeah, but like I had to scoop her from Port St. Lucie and drive her back to Miami for all that. And so I was like, yeah, you know, like I got to be intentional about these plans, and they just all worked out. They worked out perfect.
But I mean, just think about it. Like your two first dates. Learning her, right? Like, I mean, you dated her the first time, she's a completely different person. Years later, you gotta first date it again, like first date her again.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like we just had to redo that all over again, but it was kind of one of those things. Like friendship never left. Like chemistry was just big from Jump Street, and it was like we were just always so close, and we just kind of evolved together in different ways. But as soon as we came back, like it was like we've been like cool this entire time. Like we've just been like really connected this whole time in some way, shape, or form. So
best relationships are our friendships.
Absolutely, I'm with that, man. But so let's talk about this nonsense a little bit on this. Well, some of it's nonsense. Yeah, I'm kind of with some of these, but I don't know, man. Like
I kind of skimmed it, right? So I guess let's give the full backstory. So this list came about because. And of course, this is where we stay out of social media, right? Like, not everything needs to be documented. So, someone, a guy asked this girl out, took her on a first date, and he took her to Cheesecake Factory, and she had to post it on, I don't know what she did on IG, TikTok, whatever, saying she refused to get out the car until you take me somewhere else. I'm too good for cheesecake, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know. I didn't even see the video. I heard of it from other podcasts I listened to because again, this thing exploded. We just never got our input in it, but that was the gist of it. Yeah. I'm like, okay, well, my opinion. Oh, if you're gonna tell me you're too good, like if you're telling me the reason you don't want to go to cheesecake is because you're too good for cheesecake, whatever, right? Like you don't know that's my favorite restaurant ever, and I just took you to my favorite restaurant. You just told me you're too good for it. Now, if you would have told me, I don't really mess with cheesecake. Like I don't really like the food there. Like, every time I go, my stomach, like whatever bad experience, cool. Understand that, right? I get that. Let's see what else. But if you're gonna like kind of disrespect me, like, nah, too good for cheesecake. Like, I don't even know who you are. Like, to be real with you.
Keep it a bean. Yeah.
So, I mean, what do you think about that situation before we go on this list?
I mean, there's a couple of ways to go about it, right? Like, there's this whole like, know your worth type of thing. That's kind of that narrative that kind of goes on. And there's some validity to it. I just think in this case, like it went a little bit too far, right? Like, what is
You don't
know
gotta,
your worth, right? Because it's not just about the place, like it's about the experience, like the
you don't
company,
gotta,
the energy.
you don't gotta shame my man like that.
I mean, to be honest, like he could have been like, all right, well then bye.
Yeah, I don't know what he did, but that would have been me. I would have been like,
Yeah, like
I,
if you
I
if
know.
you want to go that way and say like, all right, like I'm too good for cheesecake, well then this just ain't gonna work out. Like he could have said that just as easily.
Yeah,
But
again, just me. If that was my favorite spot, I'd be like, nah, man, you ain't gonna disrespect my favorite spot like that on
yeah,
a first date.
yeah.
But so yeah, so
But
then
too
so
good
that
for anything is just that's
yeah,
it.
saying that I'm like, yeah, that's
So
just something
where'd
else.
you want to go? Like Ruth
Ex-
Chris?
Are you
Like,
trying to go to Salt Bay with those
which is
freaking
like
$500
honestly, like
sets?
I'd take cheesecake over that. I've heard the
Yeah,
food there is terrible.
I heard it's overrated, and I've heard I remember one of my old coworkers. She was like, she went out there. It was for her birthday, and she like was shocked about the price that she showed me. She was like, and I was like, damn, like, cause I was like, oh, is it good? Like, is it worth it? She was like, show me that. I was like, hell no, like, like for it to be not worth it, like for me to
Yeah.
pay like $100 just for a steak that I did for apparently a golden steak, which doesn't taste good. Like you're better off getting a regular steak.
Sometimes it's just all about like the glitz and glam and perception. And to keep it a being, like you don't really need all that on a first date, like at
Nah,
all. Like that's really not what it's supposed to be about. And if that's what it is, then hey, you know what? To each their own. But if it's me, like we just ain't connecting from there. Like if it's just all about like where it looks like the presentation, like I don't know. I'm just not the one to be materialistic on a first date. I'm more of a
yeah,
connector on the first date. That's
exactly. But then a lot of women came to her defense, like we got you, sister, and then they created a list. And I hear it said, here's a list of places women absolutely refuse to go on a first date. And thank you to the ladies who reached out to me and helped me on my list. So this was a community effort. We don't know how much, but
yeah. I need to
listen
know
to the
what this
DMs.
LinkedIn network is talking about.
And it's funny because like both of us, we haven't really dissected the list. Like I don't even know what's on the full list. But like I remember talking to my wife about it. I was like, yo, like before any content, I was like, yo, is anything wrong with cheesecake? She's like, what's wrong with cheesecake? Like she's like, Cheesecake Factory? She's like, yeah, what's wrong with it? I was like, that's all I needed to know, right? Like and she was like, oh, if you're talking about the whole situation, she's like, yeah, that's stupid. Like she's like, she don't really mess with cheesecake like that, but like ain't nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, like I mean, like I said, you got to know your person, right? And like my wife ain't gonna mess with cheesecake, just period. So,
Yeah.
like I know, like I just wouldn't do it because I know my person, and like I know my
Nah,
business. And
and on
so
the first day, if you'd have took her there and she'd have been like, yo, I just don't mess with it. That's a
yeah, like
nice way to say everything.
yeah, like
She could have just said like the lady in the video could have just said that, and it was like, okay.
yeah, but it was on some flex type stuff.
Yeah. So I mean, let's go through this list right now. So
All right, you sent it
so
to
we got
me. Well,
so we got Cheesecake Factory #1. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I think with cheesecake, they got such a diverse amount of food, right? Get what you want. Like it's just, I guess they're not known for anything besides cheesecake.
yeah,
Oh
they've
man,
got like
my little one over there crying downstairs. I see.
oh a guest appearance.
Nah, it's sleep time. She's going to sleep now.
Okay, all right. That's all good. I mean,
But
we know the
cheesecake,
family vibes.
but yeah, cheesecake. I mean, they're known for, like they have so much food, right? So it's like
The
I see
variety
why.
is crazy.
Yeah,
Like, and so I mean, if this is a very first time like you're ever like interacting with that person, like
I see
at
why it's a
a
good spot.
somewhat intimate level, yeah, that's just an easy move to make. So I get it.
I get it. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Applebee's. Got nothing wrong
Um,
with it. I don't mess with Applebee's. but ain't nothing wrong with like.
Yeah, you want me to be impartial about it? I still ain't with it. I
I mean, I
still ain't
ain't
with
with it.
Applebee's.
No. I can't remember the last time I went to Applebee's. It's just not. I don't like the food there, but I think as
Yeah,
just overall, I don't think it's nothing bad. Chili's,
yeah.
I mess with Chili's. I just went to Chili's that last week.
Chili's
I
is
haven't been to
cool.
Chili's in a while. Then I was watching the Gator game, saw the commercial that had a pretty decent special. I was like, you trying to go to trying to go to Chili's right now?
Chili's is
Because
a fun spot to go to
it's
sometimes.
cool.
Yeah,
They
you
got
can get
nice
some.
drink specials. The
Mhm.
food, it's a good amount of food for what you're paying for. Like they usually have deals on food if you just if you're on a budget.
Hey,
It's cool.
underrated lava cake. Underrated lava cake.
So ain't nothing wrong with that. All of Chipotle, yeah.
That's tough. Mm,
Personally, me, I wouldn't do any fast food.
yeah. See, I get you there. I get you there. That's kind of like
And
a hard stop.
honestly, I mean, for the price for fast food, you can do a Chili's and Applebee's for maybe for the same price or close to it now.
Yeah.
Like, cause I think when I went to Chili's, I saw a burger was like $15. I'm like, okay, well, if you get like a freaking a Big Mac, just medium, that's probably $9-10 already. You pay a little bit extra for the environment.
Yeah. See, for me, it's an environment thing, right? Like,
Yeah,
I don't know, man. Like Chipotle is just kind of like you walk down the line, like you
yeah,
get your stuff. Like that's
yeah. I
yeah,
wouldn't do it.
nah.
Just I
Too
wouldn't do fast
bright.
food.
It's
Period.
not cozy at all. Yeah, nah.
Olive Garden, again, I kind of goes back to the Applebee's chili thing. I haven't had Olive Garden in years. It's cool. I mean, whatever, right? It's
Mm.
it's more quiet than Applebee's and Chili's, from what I remember. So if you kind of want that more intimacy, like that intimate talk can happen there, I guess.
I would
If I
honestly,
remember,
I would have to know that the person is down for like Italian food.
now everybody likes Italian, like
Yeah, because like
the
that's very hit or miss. I feel like that could be like that could go
hey,
south quick.
garlic can mess up the stomach, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like that could go south quick. Like I don't know.
So
And I'm thinking like younger me too. Like
yeah.
yeah, I just don't know on that one, man. Like Olive Garden's tough because they'll like I feel like there's very few options that I would even mess with just because like some of
I
it's
can't
just
remember.
like yeah, like
I,
I don't know, the menu selection is kind of
I
rough.
can't remember. I remember going a lot when I was younger because that was my uncle's spot.
Yeah,
But like I don't know,
breadsticks, salads, and try and figure out the rest. That was kind of me on that.
yeah, I don't know. Again, I think it's fine, but again, your audience on that one. Movies, I think we're both.
Yeah.
So
Movies is a move,
I think
but it's
movies
got
is
to have
good.
something with it.
That's
It's
what
got
I'm
to have
saying.
something with it.
It's a second. Like I think if let's meet up. Like either you talk before the movie, like you kind of meet up before the movies, or maybe you just kind of watch the movie. Like maybe talk a little bit before, go to the movies, and then have a chat about the movie. See, it just can't be movie. All right,
Yeah,
let's ride, or hey, let's walk around the mall, or let's walk around the outside mall, or wherever the movie's located. The mall, like the movies are kind of located inside a mall, outside of like the outside malls. Walk
yeah.
around, a nice walk.
Yeah, you got the Dolphin Mall over there a little bit. Like you can go do
Yeah,
your thing there. Like that
you
makes sense.
or like Sawgrass, right? Sawgrass has the whole outside part. You can watch the movies and just walk around, like, and it kind of can lead to like there's a bar over there, there's a yard house over there. You just kind of just walk, cause like especially around this time, I think a movie here right now is freaking ideal because you do it and like the weather's perfect here. Like it's
November,
it
yeah.
here is like high 60s, low 70s, and it's been breezy here, so it's like it feels so much like fall and it's like clear skies. It's perfect, like.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
Yeah,
yeah, but movies are definitely like it has to be with something. It's that can't be standalone
yeah.
because you not really get to know them.
Right, right. I'm with you there.
House, no,
Really?
nah.
Really?
No. So hear me out. Like you like first date, right? Like, and I'm thinking from a girl's perspective. Like you don't know me, and I can't go to your house on a first date type thing. Like just safety. Like
I
you
get
don't know
you
me.
there. I think so I think the scenario where it works is if like whoever asked who out is like a chef or like a culinary expert.
That I get, yeah.
You kind of feel me? Like,
Yeah.
I want to make you a really nice meal. Like, that's my bag.
But that's a caveat. That's a big caveat.
I mean, it's very niche. Very niche. I feel like 95% of people can't pull that off.
Because again, safety. I'm just thinking for safety. Like,
totally get you on that.
It could be the both way. Like, what if I'm dating a girl and she's just crazy and I'm in her spot? Shoot,
you right?
Like,
you're right.
So,
but yeah, like I get why it's on the list for that. If that's the main reason, but I feel like it's like some, if it's not some just like take me out somewhere, like what if the food's better? And like I just got it like that. Okay. Like I went to what's that culinary school like in Miami? Like Johnson Wet.
That one too. Johnson
Wet. Yeah, like if I went there and I got it like that, then why go to Ruth Chris when I'm Chris Ruth?
No, I mean you're right. Like if I had it like that, yeah.
Yeah, like boom.
But yeah, that's very, very niche.
That's a good point too. The safety point was clutch for real.
So fast food, we already talked about that.
Yeah, we already talked that.
B-dubs,
the Wild Wings.
Ain't nothing wrong with B-dubs. Again, like it's kind of like, I guess you got to know your audience a little bit, because if you met her like, and she during a little limited interaction, she kind of like sports. I mean, B-dubs is a clutch spot.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that would be a number 2 spot for me though. I don't know about 1, but I feel like number 2.
It's not terrible. It's not a terrible idea. Not terrible.
Nah, it's not the worst. It's a really good catch-up spot too. Like it may be just like almost like a pre-first date. Like, yeah, like you just trying to pull up. Like,
yeah.
Just here, like I'm just catching the game, or like I'm just trying to, Yeah, I'm with it. Like, it's not the worst. It's not the worst.
I kind of put Wingstop in the fast food thing because I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think you can eat in Wingstop. I haven't seen one.
You can in ones in Gainesville. Nah,
not the ones here.
That does. I mean, you were like you got like the, like the what kind of seats are like the seats with like the metal bars in the back?
Yeah.
Like, maybe like a small cushion. Like that's not it.
Okay, so here now we're getting somewhere with this list. Yo, what's wrong with Red Lobster? Talk to me.
It's just got a bad connotation with it, man.
Don't do that.
It's got a real bad connotation with it, bro.
I love Red Lobster. I remember growing up, I thought Red Lobster was A1. I didn't grow up with much, so I thought that was top tier. And even now, like, yeah, it's kind of basic, but the food's good. The cheddar biscuits, still swear by them.
I'm not hating on Red Lobster in the sense of like what it is as a spot, because I've been there a few times. Man, I grew up on that spot too, and that was like a very family oriented joint.
It is family oriented, very.
Yeah, that's kind of my thing though. Like it's too family, not intimate.
I get that.
Like, or like it's not really. Yeah, like you might have like some kids running around. You might have too many like birthday parties and stuff like that. Like,
I get what you're saying. I still go for it, but I agree with. It is like that.
Yeah.
Buffet. What's wrong with a buffet? I tell you one thing, man. I like me a girl that can eat.
So this pot went left, bro. Oh, now we get into Jay's bag right now. He's like, all right.
Hey. If a girl can eat, first of all, hear me out. Like what Chad Johnson say. Stay with me now. Look, first of all, I like a girl who can eat. But on the first day, if you can eat how you normally eat and not be shy about it, oh yeah.
Okay, cool.
See,
fearless.
You kind of show me who you are. Like, oh, you eat a lot? That's what's up. Like,
okay.
Cool.
So you want the half rack of ribs, the lobster,
you want to do that?
The steak.
I hate like
slap it with onions on top.
Yes, the white chicks. like if first date and it's not even a buffet, just anywhere, and you ordering just a salad. Nah,
yeah,
that ain't me.
But that could be anywhere, right? Like that could be even like fine dining.
No, I'm saying that like if we don't pull something like that, like just a salad. Nah.
Yeah, I'm like, I know that's not how you really get down.
Yeah, so that's why I like a
Every
buffet.
day, all day.
That's why I like
Unless you're
buffets.
vegetarian or something, like really.
But I would say buffets are hit or miss because like some of them are nasty, but some of them are cool though.
Yeah, So there is one in Orlando, right, that I would go to. It's like Boston Lobster Feast. And
Okay.
like that's not like a chill spot. Like it's like all different types of seafoods, cuisines, and like all that good stuff. Or even like you can even do like conveyor belt sushi that's kind of buffet.
Or
You know what I'm talking about?
yeah, they have that at the mall. Have you been to like an Argentinian steakhouse buffet type thing? Like it's called one called a knife down here.
I've been to Brazil, like Brazilian
I
style.
think they're similar, but like where it's like all you can eat meat and like you go and get whatever
Oh,
meat you
wait,
want,
like you
right?
put the green light on, or like you take the red off, or whatever.
No. So like this
Oh,
Argentinian one,
okay.
so like it's like buffet style, but you can go to whatever meat station you want, and like meat station, like green station, whatever. But like it's like high quality meat.
Okay. So Brazilian steakhouses are a little different. Where like you sit at the table, and then like the waiters and waitresses like bring the meats to you. And so like
So I
if
heard
you have like
that.
the green light, they'll shave it,
Yeah.
and then they'll just keep it moving. If you got the red,
See?
like they'll just pass you over.
See, that's cool.
Now,
See, but
Brazilians are like, that's a little pricey too, though.
I mean, technically they're buffet style, so like
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It's hit or miss.
yeah. There's a lot of range on that one.
I'm gonna put IHOP and Denny's in the same boat. Nah.
That's too late night, bro.
Exactly. That's
way
like,
too late night, bro.
Like we just finished fading, and
Yeah,
I need a pick me up. Like
yeah, that's post let out. Like that's not a date. That's
Gym is a no. Like I guess, I mean, it depends on who the girl is, guy is. I like you can pick up somebody or at a gym, but I wouldn't take you on a first date to a gym.
Well, all right. So can we expand gym a little bit to like yoga or like something like that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
like a workout, like a walk in the park type of thing.
I would do the yoga thing only if it's kind of like where the movies secondary. Like it has to be something like something like, hey, like I do yoga, like I'm really into yoga. I kind of want to experience this with you.
Experiences, yeah. It's cool. For sure, exactly.
So,
yeah, the gym just pumping iron, like nah.
In order for me, because for me, like I don't like I kind of like going to the gym by myself. Like I used to go with people, and I wasn't getting like it. Like they were trying to talk and stuff, and it's like I get it. Like the gym is different for everyone. Like you kind of connect with people. You want to talk to your friends. Me, it's kind of like my mental health space, and like me pumping the iron and doing all that. I kind of want no distractions.
I get
That's
you.
just me though.
I get you. I could do it. It's just on some like BS little competition shit.
I got depending on your audience. Know your audience.
Yeah, like if you just like, all right, like you a gymmer, I'll be like, all right, well, take me through one of these workouts. Not a first date.
Yeah.
But just like a hangout thing, but not a first one.
Church. Unless you
gotta know the person for sure.
Unless you gotta like you already met the person and off rip, she's like religious and you like are the same religion. Like you could be Christian, but like how many forms of Christianity there are, right? Like
or like certain like religious events. Yeah. It can't be just like your routine service.
Nah.
But like if there was like, if there was like the Grinch playing like close to Christmas or something like that, like a play.
Or the churches like, we're on the first day of December, we have a church Christmas light show type thing. I get that, right? But again, exactly. It's a caveat. Like it's like, yeah, come to church with me, but we're not going to church. I want to take you to a light show. We can walk around, blah blah blah.
Yeah, but we ain't going to like traditional whatever. Nah. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so to me, that's a no. Like
besides, you mean the whole community then? Like, what kind of first date is that? Like, hold on now.
So, Starbucks coffee dates, ice cream dates.
You can probably loop all those in.
Yeah, all of them.
Yeah,
I think those are prime first dates. Like,
You really good get to know you, especially if you're a professional.
yeah, like
Oh, come on now. Like,
the
what?
purpose of the first date is to get to know each other. Like it's just vibe. Like, if do you like coffee? No. Oh, do you like ice cream? Like, hey, let's do
Yeah.
something. Like, those spots are like, I don't drink coffee like that, but like Starbucks is chill. Like, you can make it intimate. Like,
Oh yeah.
depending on the
Depending on
Starbucks.
the branch, yeah. You just
Like,
gotta
some
know
of
the
it,
spot.
I've seen it where it's super chill because a lot, or like some people study there, so it's like quiet and whatever. I mean, they work.
Hmm.
I have no problem with that. And an ice cream date with a walk to the park.
Oh, dessert move? Yeah,
That's
bro.
same.
Icing on the cake? Come on now. Like that's a
So
good one to wrap it up with. Like if you can play your card right, like you double up with something else. You know, icing,
so let me see what else here we got.
bring
So
out
we
the
can speed it.
improv clothes.
So let's speed this up a bit. One was done with the list. I know we got one more topic after this. Family functions. No, it's kind of like the church thing right now. Not on a first date.
Tough. Very tough to pull.
Movie night, like Netflix and
Is this
chill.
Netflix and chill?
It says movie night, Hulu, Netflix, etc. Like, it kind of goes back to my first thing with your house.
That's your
I wouldn't.
house. Yeah,
Yeah, I
see,
wouldn't do that.
that's not the same. That's not the
Yeah.
same. Yeah, I say
So
no.
somewhere that requires a long drive. Guess what your definition of a long drive is, but nah.
I mean,
The first date shouldn't be that much of that much work.
yeah, it gets to be a little cumbersome unless you can just like keep the vibe and conversation just going and flowing,
Which
like
is
that.
tough.
Hey, I mean, on usually on first days, like you can come up with any topic, and it's I mean, but yeah,
then,
I don't know about that. Like you're just making it harder on yourself.
Oh, and one more. I know we bundled IHOP and Denny's, Waffle House too. I'm gonna put that in there.
Oh no, absolutely no.
That's enough.
Absolutely no. Great move though. Great move for a late move. Great move for a late night.
Not a first
with
date.
the bait, but just late night move. Just I fuck with House.
It would have been that's more later dates, and you decide to take your lady to a club, and it's like, okay, well, the night's still young, or like I kind of get one could get something to eat. Waffle House, like that, but see, but that's not first date though.
No, you gotta pull up like the jacket's over her is your jacket.
So what we got here? Bowling. I'm gonna put bowling and Top Golf together because they're kind of similar.
Yeah,
those are. What's wrong with that? Like those are great. I think those are great first dates. A little competition. You still get to know each other. They still have food, music. It's a vibe. It's a vibe regardless.
I think the thing with bowling is the nails. Like if they got their nails did for it and all that stuff, like you really got to know your person because like if they're not like on like any remote athleticism and it's all prissy, that's gonna be a very big negative.
Yeah. But then that might be a negative for me, for example. That'd be a negative, like, oh, like you don't. I kind of like an athletic, someone active.
Yeah.
So like I normally like to go bowling and Top Golf and all that. So if you don't really like that, like
yeah, exactly.
Nightclubs, nah, not a first date.
No.
Hookah bar, a bar just for drinks. They're fine.
It's.
I mean, those are more adult vibes, and again, know your audience. If you met her and she was already like vaping and smoking, maybe like you really have to catch that.
I feel like those scream like happy hour moves to me.
Yeah.
So like
I wouldn't
try to pull like you know what, like it might work with like because I actually heard like the research says like most relationships start from work.
Yeah, I can see why.
So, like,
you spend most of your time there anyway.
Yeah, so I mean that could kind of like the work moves. Oh, Waffle House is right there.
No, that's why I brought it up.
Oh,
because I read it down.
Know that. Okay, like you were skipping ahead a little bit, but yeah, like the hookah bar for drinks. That's not really supposed to be the first date, but like it might turn into one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then last one, sporting events.
Absolutely. Oh,
it depends. It
I would
depends.
do it.
Like,
You got to know the person, but I would
gotta know the
definitely
person.
do it.
I would do it. Like if I just met you and it's like, oh, like you wanna, I got an extra ticket. I got an extra ticket to a Gator game, Heat game, Dolphin game. Like you trying to, like, like my boys doing the tailgate. We can kind of
Yeah, a little bit
boom,
like
boom.
that.
It's
You know,
fun.
No, it's crazy because like, and obviously this wasn't a first date, right? But uh, I took my then girlfriend, now wife at the time, to D Wade's last home game. Like, bro, you can't tell me that ain't a great first date.
Yeah,
Like, that's a balling ass first date.
So, when I read this list, right, there's something in common with almost everything there, and is Money Manziel. That's
It really is.
That's what. So it's people are not spending money, and it gets kind of goes to what the topic, our final topic, is going to be, like dating in this generation, right? Like this whole thing is like, if you're not spending money, like just on a first date, it's a failure of a first date, right? Like no, I know my worth. I'm worth $100 steak and lobster. I'm worth like a bottle at the club, like on the first date. Like you're trying so much to flex.
Yeah.
I mean, she trying to flex for the gram. Like, hey, like I'm on a first date. Like, this is the type of guys I come get me or anything like that. It's just, and you're kind of like defeating the purpose. Like, what is the first date? It's for me. Like, if anything, I'm not trying to impress you with money. I'm trying to impress you with who I am as a person. Now, if I got money, that's extra. But you, like, to me, like, I would never start out with that.
For me, like, I'm keeping it being like, I wouldn't go to a place where I feel like I'm flexing, because then I feel like I would lose like authenticity from it. Like
that too.
Let me go somewhere chill where like I'm my authentic self, you're your authentic self. Let's really chat, let's connect, right? Because then like you don't have like any of the other pressures, like, oh, like she's got to rock this like beautiful, brilliant ass clothes, you know what I'm saying? Or like she got to really get all done up. Like, let's just be ourselves. Let's just go out. Let's just have a good time. Let's just really connect and to know each other. And I feel like, sometimes if you go overboard, like you might lose like that true sense of connection, because like now you're just like, not saying you're on edge or anything like that, but like you really make it more than it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like for me, like I would do the same thing as you. I'm gonna keep it as chill as possible, because this is just me protecting myself. I would never tell you how much I make. Like I like that's something way down the line. Like I probably would, like, I mean, yeah, we could talk about what I do for a living. That's just about it.
Yeah.
And now what I do for a living, if you wanna kind of calculate in your head, oh, like this is his job title, this is how much I think he makes. You can do that, but I'm not gonna tell you how much I make.
But then even that, if like if you read body language and someone's like really just crunching the numbers on you like that, and then like they get all like big eyed and like really engaged in the conversation, that says something to me too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah, because like it'd be something if I like, oh, like what do you do? Like, oh yeah, like whatever, I'm a social worker, whatever. Like your body language is gonna tell me like exactly what, like whether you care about how much I make, or oh wow, that's a fulfilling job. Like tell me about it. Like what do you actually do?
Yeah.
Like my job title is so broad, right? Like I don't do I don't do direct care anymore. Like I'm more administrative. So like, everything's different. So you want to know, like, hey, what is that? Like, how do you get into that field? Like that can lead into an interesting conversation.
Yeah.
Or it can be like, oh no, he's not like an engineer. He's not a music producer. He's not that. So, and it's like, you know what? You don't know how much I make, right? I could probably make a little bit. I could make a lot, but you don't know that. And that's I'll be generic as hell with my job title.
Oh yeah, first date wise, like I said, anything that I do or who I am as a person is not necessarily to flex. It's just to get to know you, right? Like I'm gonna be transparent to the extent of like, yeah, this is what I do. Like I do X, Y, and Z, but I'm not trying to like embellish anything or like
Yeah.
really like be super detailed. So like it's just all about like, oh, I'm trying to impress somebody. Like, yeah, this is what I do, you know, like I like it, you know, and because of this or whatever. And then like you just gotta
Or
go to the next.
or it can be like, this is my job. You know, I don't like it. Boom. So
Yeah,
what do you like? What see like that would like those
that's
kind
a
of
good point.
those follow-ups really kind of tell you whether the person's truly engaging you and not or not,
Yeah,
right? Like,
right, right.
because like it's funny, like you bring up thing like a man, right? And like I think of like the one guy, the one guy who's like an aspiring chef. But her whole thing was, I need a man who's making six figures because I make
Oh
six figures. Like
yeah.
so that's her thing, right? And you know that's her standard. Like whatever. Like I'm not gonna knock you. If that's what you set for yourself, that's fine. But like
Yeah, it's cool.
if he's an aspiring chef and is like, look, he did everything else, but his true passion is, you know, just culinary. He just need that one break. If she really pushes that, like, and is interested in that, knowing that he's just a broke chef, but maybe one day he'll make it, like, that first date can really, like, you know, determine that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I
Cause
think it's just about once again, like you got to know your person. You got to really know like what you value, and you know what? Some people make value kind of the glitz and glam with all that. Like that's cool. Find somebody who you know is about that life, what have you. No disrespect. If those things on the list just don't rock with you,
I
okay.
ain't it.
Godspeed. Yeah,
I tell you right now,
Godspeed. Right.
I,
Like, I get it. You know, you may not want that, but at the same time, you better look out when somebody who will never go to that spot like doesn't want you either, too. It's
exactly. It's like
back
I
and
know,
forth.
like I know, like when I look at the list and I'm like, I know it's not a like a microcosm of everything because you know, like with
Right.
social media, that's the vocal minority. But it
Right.
does make you think. Like, I'm glad I'm not dating, and hopefully never dating again. Like, because this
Yeah.
new generation is crazy. Like, I like the joke is like I would probably be single because I couldn't deal with like, these females. Like, I couldn't. Like, if you're gonna question me, like if you're gonna question me about money off rip, and it's like I don't want to tell you how much I make. I
My
don't want to
thing is
really
this.
go. I don't want to go into that. I don't want to spend so much money because I shouldn't have to. Because that's not what really this is about.
Yeah. So the way I'll piggyback off of that, what is worth? What is
Yeah,
value? Like, is it all just dollars and cents? Or is it how you treat somebody? Is it, you know, like the connection that you can build with somebody, right? Like
like
how much fun you can have with somebody, or like just the warmth and energy you might feel. But like if it's just all about dollars and cents, well then that's a very massive piece of the puzzle. I feel like it's just being
yeah,
lost.
like do you look at me as just free dinner? Because if you just look at me as free dinner, then like I tell you right now, you might as well you got the wrong one, right? Like I'm not like and for
Yeah.
like, I mean, this go both ways. Like you know whether you're a straight or gay relationship, right? But like if you're gonna ask the person out on a date, whether you know whoever they are, right? That person should have enough respect to like you know, oh, this is my self worth, right? Like I you know I deserve you know whatever restaurant you know Ruth Chris whatever, right? But then you
Yeah.
gotta be like, damn, like what does he do? Like I'm spending like he's spending his own money. Like you like I'm spending my own money on a date with you. Like have some respect for that a bit. Like you don't know
Yeah.
like what if I don't make that much and like I really just saved up or like maybe I you know hey I'm gonna put on the credit card and I'm gonna pay this later like just for
Yeah.
you like I'm gonna put myself in a little credit card debt to you know to try to flex or whatever or just because I want to live up to whatever standards you want. It's like no man
Yeah.
like how you like know your worth. What like you know what about me like I
Man.
like
So I have a story for this, right? So my wife and I went out to a Yelp event, and like you know, she's Yelp elite and whatnot, right?
yeah
And so we went to this. It was actually like a Halloween event, um, and there weren't a couple next to us. It was a guy and a girl. Like he asked her to come with it was like a +1 to this event and whatnot, right? And so like there was like there were a couple of drinks, but the whole idea was like you make your own like flower set for somebody and whatnot. Really cool. Like I mean, a great date spot, awesome first date spot, and a great flex for like if you're like a young guy, like Yelp Elite, you can get to like an exclusive event.
Yeah.
You take somebody you like I was like, dang, like you kind of did pretty good, right? And then like, so he walks off, probably getting a drink or something like that. My wife went to the bathroom, and then she's like, "Hey, is it okay if I'm just like here for the food and I'm just here for the vibes?" And I was like, "Oh man." I was like, "Oh, poor dude. Like he could have taken anyone else. He could have gone by himself and just networked." Like I was like, man, that tough.
Like if you knew that's all what you saw him as, it's like I get it, right? You're gonna look out for yourself, right? She's looking out for herself, but it's like,
yeah, but I'm like, don't
Jesus.
go.
Yeah, like you know what, like you just have some respect. Like you know what, like I think you're a cool guy. Just
yeah, like
I'm the wrong person to take.
There you go.
Like
it could all be so simple, and I was like,
no,
I'm not getting into y'all stuff. Like, I'm not no problem. Like, I ain't trying to even get into that. But I was what?
I just thought of this now. Like, I've seen videos of this, and it's funny where it's like, the guy asks a girl on a date, right? And she's like, "Oh, well, you gonna take me to this spot? You need to give me money for my nails and all this, my hair, and all this whole getup just for a date." Like, I don't even.
I was like, dang, when did this become like? When did this start with overhead costs?
Like it's like the date.
Like those sound like indirects for a grand.
it's like she's treating the first date so transactional.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, so obviously you about business, which I'm sure some people will do that, but some people would just be like, I just wanted to like get to know you a little bit.
Yeah, and Shannon Sharp in Shannon Sharp's podcast, it was hilarious because he's talking about he just got in the league. Like he's like he was probably making like $60,000 a year, which at the time is a lot, but still not a lot because he's only like a 7th round rookie. And I remember he said he took someone on a date and he's like, "Look, I took her to a decent restaurant. I'm not making that much. He got bills and all this stuff he got to pay. So he's like, I'm gonna take the lesser meal so she can get something." And she's looking and he's like, "Oh, like, what are you taking so long?" And she's like, "Yeah, I need to find out what goes well with a steak." Like she's looking for like the most expensive meal.
And the best wine or something.
Yeah.
Like, sheesh.
And then like his joke, which is, in this day and age is definitely inappropriate, right? He was like, when she was like, "What goes well with a steak?" He's like, "Condoms, because if you getting that, I'm getting lucky tonight, right?"
I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that joke.
Yeah, in today's, you can't really say that, right? But like, I get what he's saying. It's
like free speech. What you mean? It's free speech.
You can't cancel Shannon.
She said I'm trying to get this. I'm trying to get the mix with the steak. She said what she's
like. She want to make something with that steak. He got a meat too, You got.
I mean, shoot, like nails did, hair did, everything. Like if you could say that, like, and that's a business transactional thing. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, right? You can't have it both ways, right? Like that's kind of my thing.
No, it's like, and I get what he's saying. Is like, look, like you don't know them, but like I took the lesser meal, right? Because I rather you do that. So now don't just take advantage of me, and get like the most expensive thing you can possibly get just because like he's a pro athlete.
Yeah,
like you're only doing that because I'm a pro athlete. What if I was a regular Joe Schmo?
Status.
What are you gonna get? Now he's a pro athlete making nothing. Think about it, 60,000.
Just started.
Right. He said he didn't really get paid till like 4 years later, 3 to 4 years later. So he's like people don't know, like if you're like a lower draft pick, like a 7th round or undrafted, you're probably making like what regular folks are making now.
If you make the team.
So
that might just be for a summer.
Yeah. So like if he's making 60,000 a year, well, like a lot of people make 60,000 a year and they do very less, less stressful jobs. So you're not even like taking account like the demand he has to take. And like football players for and like athletes in general, they kind of get paid like teachers. Like teachers only get paid during the school year. They only get paid during the season. Season's not 12 months long.
Yep. So they got to be just as smart with their money than everybody else. You can't just be blowing money fast like you really think they can. But
So
Jay, we're breaking records again, man. If we don't cut this thing,
and I thought it was gonna be a quick one too.
I thought this was easy money, man. I was like, wait a sec. This list, just 1 minute, we could just go like the part in the interruption.
Yeah, but I think we can agree, right? Just like this list is just like a joke because, end of the day, they're treating this more transactionally than to really get to know the person. What the purpose of a first date is anyway. Like again, they will crucify me. They find out you took your wife on a walk on campus, which is essentially kind of like a walk in a park. But like, well, yeah, right. It is what it is.
I think at the end of the day, man, it's just like at the end, like even if it's social media, who the hell really cares, man? Like I don't even know if this person is married or not. Like they could be on Hinge or whatnot, like swiping left and right and trying to find that person. They'll never find someone because like they're worried about this damn list. They ain't worried about like who they are as a person. So I mean,
stop living for social media, man. Like social media is a double-edged sword.
To be honest, like if you let it just sounds like a situation where somebody could have have been so consumed by it that they're not living in the present. Like they're just like, oh, like this is the life I want, but they're projecting something that's not going to come yet.
Yeah,
or could come yet. But you got to go through the Olive Gardens before you get to a Ruth Chris sometimes. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Now,
I mean, yeah, now like we was doing all the other stuff, and like even now, like we'll go to a nice restaurant, but at the same time, we'll still go to a B-Dubs, and we'll still go to a Chili's, and we'll still because the vibe's still cool.
I remember the first time I took my wife to Waffle House, like at a very late night move.
Yeah,
and honestly, it hit. But it also just reminded me of, and obviously, like, you didn't just go to Waffle House at like 2 a.m. with your folks and whatnot. But like, Waffle House was a big thing, like breakfast in the morning, like with my fam, like get a little All-Star, some hash browns, and like I had stories associated with that. Like,
yeah,
like it
worked both ways.
Yeah, and like, that was a fun night. That was cool as heck. We got a little All-Star thing. She got exactly what she wanted because Waffle House got some good boobs.
Yeah, Waffle House. I didn't know Waffle House was like a thing.
Sometimes.
I didn't really experience Waffle House until like Gainesville because it's not even a thing here. Like you got Denny's and IHOP down here, but like people don't really mess with Waffle House down here.
No, that's a southern trauma.
Yeah,
man.
And plus, by the time I was 18, I was already in college, so that's when I really got the whole late night.
Yeah,
I go out and do all that. But I mean, but you know what? This list created other lists because now you have the retaliation list, and we can talk about that in future episodes. And
the anticipation too.
Yep. I mean, we gotta Trey Songz. But
that's tough. I should have said that.
Yeah. But I mean, we got 2 more episodes left. We got one for sure. I just during this episode, Josh, good friend of ours, Nahimi, will be joining us. He gave me the okay.
Hey.
So seemed like we'll be having a guest for one of our final episodes. But
another friend of the pod coming through. Ain't mad at
man. But overall, this was a good episode, another relationship episode.
I mean, we're not the experts, so if y'all on Instagram, wherever y'all find us, like
get at us.
Leave a comment. If you like, man, like I never do that movie stuff, or like I never settle for that, like just let us know.
Get on the pod and get on the pod and get at us.
Yeah, we
friendly
can hash it out. Yeah, a friendly hash out. I ain't gonna be mad at you. But yeah, so once again, like follow us on all our social media platforms at genuine_content or genuine content podcast on Instagram or Facebook. Like, subscribe, leave a review. We'd love to hear ideas, especially coming up for season 3. Like, what themes y'all thinking about in 2024? Like, we're here for the people. We want to bring some real topics. Obviously, we'll have some things cooking up ourselves, but we definitely want to hear from y'all. Like, what important topics really matter to everybody. It can, controversy level ain't that bad. We'll do our best to keep it civil, of course. But Jay, you got something? Some last words?
Nah, man, just another good episode. I'm just sad that we're closing down season 2, but
it's for a good cause, though.
I know. No, it's good. It's good. We got a lot going on. We need a mental health break, but for those listening early, we're in November, so happy early holidays coming up. We got Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Man, it's already Christmas, Kwanzaa, man. Like my target is tripping.
I'm saying, man, the Mariah Carey's on the radio already. It's off.
Yo, yeah, she's taking off already, man. Shout out to them royalties.
But I mean, yeah, but it's gonna be good. We're gonna definitely end these 2 episodes with a bang. So stay tuned.
Definitely, most definitely. Well, this is Genuine Content spelled with K, with your hosts Jay and Josh. Once again, coming back to y'all. Well, y'all have a good one. We'll see y'all for the next episode. Peace out.
Peace.
Just get the fuck out my face.